Our topic of the day, startup. You're starting a freight brokerage or you're thinking about it. Maybe you want to start out as a freight broker agent. We'll get into that in a moment. But we're going to focus on starting a freight brokerage company. Obviously, you're going to want to get an LLC. First thing you want to do, get that LLC. All right. And depending on your state, I'm not even going to guess. I know Arkansas, I think, it's $150. And no, Arkansas is $50. The franchise fee is $150 a year for LLC. California, a different animal. I was talking to somebody from out there the other day, and it's just got a nut money. Stupid money for what it is. But anyway, getting your authority, if you're using an agent to get your authority for you, you're going to pay a couple $100 more, but you're going to make sure it's done right. It's going to file your application for authority for your broker license, UCR, BOC3. You're looking at about $650 there total if you hire somebody to do that for you, and I highly recommend that, so that way it's one where you don't have to be concerned about. Your bond is going to run anywhere from $1,000 and up. A couple of things they're looking at, your experience in transportation and your credit. If you are planning to get your authority pretty quick, I'm talking about within the next 60 days, you can go to pretty much any of the bonding company, property broker surety bond. You want the property broker surety bond, and there are bonding companies that do it. Throw a plug out there for JW surety bonds. Matter of fact, on their website, on the home page, they got a form there you can fill out. Okay. And you'll get a quote. And that quote is good for a couple of months. So before you even think about stepping out, getting your own authority, you want to know how much that bond's going to cost you, because, if you paid that money to get your authority and you can't get the bond because it's too expensive, well, what are you going to do? Can't get that. You can't unfile your authority, get your money back. Now, those are the things you're going to need to be legal. So far we got $650, and if you're get your bond for $1,000, you're under $2,000, but we're not done. That's just to be legal. Well, you get the, whatever it costs, you get the LLC too. Insurance, you'll want insurance, even though it's not required as a broker. I was talking to somebody the other day. Somebody called me. A driver, I don't know if he's a driver, owner, operator. I think he's just a driver. And we were talking about it, and, he was just going through everything about this and that. Yeah, it's not too bad. From what I've learned out here on the road, that kind of thing. And then we started talking about the reality of starting your own brokerage. He kind of, backed up, had another opinion about it. But anyway, insurance, even though it's not required, you're going to want some insurance. Number one reason is it makes the customer that you're trying to get to work with you as a broker feel all warm and fuzzy inside, where they want to work with you because they're looking for that insurance. They've just been trained whenever they set up a new trucking company with their, to haul their freight. They've been trained to look for the insurance. And so that's what they're doing when you send them over your broker package. Okay. Now, contingent cargo. Contingent cargo is set up to basically, it does something, but I call it a do-nothing policy. It's, you can find it for under $1,000 a year. And what it's doing actually is should the trucking company, for whatever reason, fail to pay on cargo damage or whatever it might be, that's what your contingent cargo is for, just in case. Contingent, just in case. that's errors and omissions. This is a business of contracts. Probably want to get that. You're looking at $2,000 and up there. Contingent auto liability, always recommended. Now, this is not required, but this, E&O and contingent auto, that protects you, okay, as the broker. General liability. A lot of customers today want the general liability. Okay, trucking companies have general liability as well. Most shippers want the trucking company to have general liability as well. You can add it, and it's going to vary depending on, A lot of variables there. You just have to get a quote from your insurance people. But my recommendation is always, until you need it. You may have a customer that wants you to get it before they'll work with you, but there's no guarantee that you're going to move any of their freight after you spent the money to get the policy. So, until it's, worth your while to make sure, you can make your money back on it. Load boards. Yeah, you're going to have load boards. Think about that. What? 1, 2, 3, $55 a month for the full boat on that. You got DAT, depending on which version you get. DAT Express is what, $139 a month, I think. DAT Power, $235, one or the other there. And if you start out with Express, I will tell you, you will you'll step up to Power pretty quick. Just the bells and whistles, that's what it amounts to. Then you got Truck Stop, $99 a month. Do you want all three? Maybe not when you first start, but yeah, you will. If you're getting your own brokerage, there's no way around it. Now, you may be thinking, well, why do I need 3 load boards? Well, it's pretty simple, actually. All right. You don't know which trucking company is using what load boards. Some trucking companies may be using a combination of all 3. Some may be using just one of them. By having, 3 different load boards, you're going to expand your reach. So more trucking companies will see your load, and you'll be able to see more trucks. That makes sense? All right. Then you got your TMS, Freight Broker TMS. You're looking at about $100 a month there. Now, I know there are some out there that are free, and but you start adding people, that's where it starts getting costly. Some TMS, a TMS is, a matter of fact, we got a video coming up, a standalone video going to be popping up on YouTube here in the next couple of weeks, where we kind of get in detail about a TMS. But the TMS is just basically your freight broker software. It keeps track of all the details of your loads. It's where you're going to build load confirmations. It's where you're going to be able to put all the criteria for the carriers that have set up with you. Pretty much all you're going to do, you get in that TMS, you're going to open up that customer's, create a new load, assign that customer, and then put all the load details, the financials, add the trucking company, and you'll be able to create a load confirmation for the carrier from all of that information. And you will be able to export that information. More times than not, you're exporting the information to QuickBooks or something, to create an invoice. But anyway, TMS, you're looking at about $100 a month. Okay. And if you have people that are going to be working for you, agents outside, you want them to have their own seat on the TMS. You want them to have their own access. That's going to run you anywhere from $25 to $30 or $25 to $35 per month per person you give access to, or per agent. Usually that's where the access is going. Now, you see it can add up pretty quick. It can add up. And you got to go through that startup period. Startup period is going to be the same for a freight broker or a freight broker agent. It doesn't matter. What do I mean by the startup period? Where you are actually operational. You're building the business. You're building a customer base. You're building the relationships, a carrier following. That takes time. I don't care what anybody tells you out there. You don't start brokering tomorrow and start making money next week. It's always been one of my pet peeves. I want clients, I want my clients at Altoa, I want them to be successful. But it always, whenever I get a client, they get out there first week or so, and they're happy, they thrilled, they moved the load, they made some money. I'm happy for them, I'm patting them on the back, but inside I'm going, oh man. The reason is, many of them that, they get out there and they move a load real quick, they get this false impression about the business. Hey, this is going to be simple. No, not really. You were in the right place, right time. You really you don't have enough time in yet to understand that it's going to take work. And what happens is after that first load, they think they're going to move a load tomorrow, and that don't happen. And the next thing you know, it's 2 weeks later, they haven't moved another load, and they've been focused on that. Their attention has been drawn away from adding new customers or adding customers to their customer base, making sales calls essentially, and focused on trying to get trucks to move loads from the customers they already have. And the next thing you know, they start to get discouraged. And, you know, they got to be able to really pump themselves back up. You know, as a consultant, we try to explain to them, hey, look, this is real. You know, yes, you got out there, you made some money, you see how easy it can be, and that's how easy it will be, but you got to build the business up. How long it takes to build that business up, it's anybody's guess. It depends on you. Are you doing the work? Are you making the sales goals? Are you doing the little things? Are you paying the attention to the details? See what I mean? This all takes time. It all takes time. But you can become successful. That's why we recommend starting out as a broker agent. You can save that money from starting your own brokerage. Now, if you've got the experience and such, you want to start your own brokerage, that's totally up to you. We've got packages at Taltoa designed to offer you training. You can even enter our mentorship program. You got the standard 12-month consulting package we provide to our broker clients. You've got one of our freight broker packages includes a turnkey website. That's where in the price of the package it's included the web design, your domain, your first year of hosting, and a 5-page website. You know, totally turnkey. Just depends on what's there for you. But if you start out as an agent, you don't have to worry about all that overhead. You have to worry, you know, as you start as an agent, you can focus on building your customer base. You can start focusing on making that brokerage successful. So when you get to that point to where you've built up the customer base, you got knowledge, you got the experience, you've got a carrier following building, that's when you can step out, get your own authority, have these expenses, and start brokering freight under your own license, under your own company. Anyway, check us out at Taltoa, TALTOA.com. We have all kinds of packages for broker agents as well as freight brokers. We have consulting packages only for a broker. Maybe you want to do self-study. We got those available too. Check it out, Taltoa.com, TALTOA.com. If you find a package you like, one that interests you, maybe you have questions, feel free to call me. People do it all the time. 479-668-0838. Keep in mind, just so you know, if you call, it's not out of the ordinary to get my voicemail. You know, I'm working with clients. I'm in training sessions, doing a podcast. But usually if you leave a message, I'm able to call you back within an hour, if not shortly thereafter.